some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is my boomstick. Here's Johnny.
I have to return some videotapes. We'll tear your soul apart.
Hello and welcome to a sequel-tastic episode of All Things Horror. I am your host Ben and I'm joined here with special guest again, Ashley Savage. If you're new to the show, each week we choose a movie to break down and review. We give it our honest opinions and rate it from 1 to 10. We have a brief spoiler-free chat about the movie before we head into the plot and discuss our favourite and least favourite parts of the movie. If you stick around until the end, we finish off with some interesting trivia and a fun little horror game created by myself. You're going to love this, by the way.
I hope
it's
so.
proper up your street, this game. This week we're going to be talking about Child's Play 2 from 1990. And the premise is it's set 2 years later. Chucky is back and he continues his pursuit for Andy, who is now in foster care. It's written by Don Mancini, directed by John Lafia, with a main cast of Alex Vincent, Brad Dourif and Elise, with a decent runtime of 1 hour and 24 minutes. I believe it's available on Amazon Prime, but you can pretty much rent it from anywhere. First and foremost, welcome back.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I'm glad to be back.
It is. You joined us on the Saw episode, and that was episode 24. We're now on episode 44.
God damn.
Yeah, I've been nagging you for a while
Double
to get you back
digits.
on, so I'm glad you're back.
It's nearly my age.
This was voted as the winner of our poll pick. Each month we do a poll pick, and this month I set it to sequels, and it was between this, On Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and Scream 2. But I would have been happy with all them because I love my classics. 80s horror is kind of like my jam. Child's Play, that was an episode we covered a little while back, so I'm glad to get into the sequel for this one. But yeah, I mean, how are you with your? I know this isn't your like go-to type of horror. You prefer like the newer ones rather than old. But what about this one? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan?
Child's Play is it's classic, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
That's the bottom line. I mean, there's nothing scarier than a doll. I think everyone grew up knowing that either somebody had a doll that they were in the family that they were absolutely terrified of, and Child's Play always kind of put on like a heavy layer of fear into that. And just, a 3-foot fucking doll, it's just hilarious. And it's going to ruin your day. And some of the stuff that they've done with them over the years as well, it's just, it's immense.
Yeah. It seems like you say that, but out of all the horror icons, like most people would agree that Chucky's not necessarily the scariest killer. Like, you would rather go up against him rather than Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason. Would you agree?
Yeah, but I think Chucky would steal your girl. That's the problem. He's a 3-foot doll with like real working anatomy. You got to watch out. You haven't got to watch about the killing. You're going to steal your girl.
What do you know of the franchise? Like, how deep have you gone into
in
Chucky?
the rabbit hole, in the Chucky rabbit hole?
I'm going to open a beer.
Do it. Oh. God damn. Bride of Chucky, pretty much all the way through up to there.
Yeah?
Yeah. He sows his seed, literally. Has a, and then they have a kid, don't they? I don't think I watched the kid one. Spawn of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, whatever it was.
So what there's been Child's Play 1, 2 and 3, and then
Yeah.
they started naming them Chuckies, which started as Bride of Chucky, then
Yeah.
Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, and then Cult of Chucky. I think
Yeah,
that's
oh,
as
and
far as...
I watched the latest remake as well of it.
Oh, Child's... Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but... Yeah, Child's Play they did in 2019, but that's not a part of the franchise. That's like a completely different concept. To me, I wouldn't consider that Chucky. I love
It's
the
not
film.
canon.
Don't get me wrong. I liked it. It was good, but it was not Chucky.
Yeah, and then they've got the TV series as well, haven't they?
I kind of
Which
gave
is-
up on that.
The TV series has got the girl that plays Kyle in this, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think
she's the police lady in it.
I think Brad Dourif, the guy that plays Chucky, he's always done Chucky's voice. I think his daughter plays a main character in it because she's an actress,
Well, there we go.
and I think he still voices Chucky.
It's
in
doing
that as
really
well.
well, though, apparently.
I'm gonna give it another watch because they've done like 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am gonna. I think I got almost to the end of the first season. It was just the acting that did it for me.
It stays true to the
I don't know.
80s.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I like this. I go back to it kind of every few years, and I forget. Each time I watch it, I kind of forget how much I love it. It's been quite notoriously popular for being one of the better sequels of horror. Probably hence why it won the poll pick. Everyone seemed to love this one.
It propelled the whole series as well. I'm fairly sure I can't remember who used to directed this, but he went on to direct the next 4 of them as well because
Don
this one did
Mancini.
so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you've seen the first, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it did a good job of carrying it on? Because I think it was like a 2-year gap. It was like 88 was the first one. This one's 90.
Yeah, and then third was literally a year after.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely it's got some plot holes, for sure. Because you're just like, what? I mean, we'll get into it, but some of the stuff you're like, it's hilarious. You're like,
I know.
But no, it is good. It is good, and I think that's probably why it resonated so much because it did get panned. It got critically panned, but the people loved it, and that's what pushed it. I think it was its genuine scores of critics was not very good at all.
Yeah, I did. I made a note because what we got? IMDb have rated it 5.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 40%. I personally would highly disagree with that. I would not rate it that low. I think it's brilliant. I think it did a great job of continuing it on. Like you said, it's got some plot holes, but as a film overall, it's fun. It's a good, fun film.
It's a fun slasher,
Yeah.
which is what you kind of need.
And I don't think Chucky is made to be taken that seriously anyway.
No.
He's a doll.
It's a 3-foot
The-
doll.
The more you read into it, the more, I don't know. But as a sequel, I can't really think of any more sequels that has kind of lived up to the hype that this one has. I can only really name a couple like Aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens was a good one. That did a great job. Hellraiser 2 was pretty good. Friday the 13th 2, but that's on a whole different level. But yeah, as a sequel, I agree with everyone that's voted for this one as the winner of the poll pick.
Yeah, for me it would have been between this and Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That's where it would have been for me.
Yeah. Even though I'm wearing a Scream t-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I haven't really got an awful lot of pre-spoilers. I don't want to get too into it too quickly.
I just want to talk about how bad the foster parents were. That's what I want to do.
In particular, the dad.
Yeah, just awful people. It's like, who signed them off? That's what I want to know.
Oh man!
Who signed them off to have him? They're like, yeah. Oh, we know about your past, but we kept the good guy doll kicking around as well, just for lols. Just to fuck with you.
Oh man!
But yeah, look, Andy's been through the ringer, hasn't
he? Yeah. As Chucky himself, there's something about not the films, like actually Chucky. There's something about Chucky that makes him so like popular. Like you could say to anyone, like my nan, for instance, knows who Chucky is. My 3-year-old son knows who Chucky is. Everyone knows who Chucky is. You may not have seen the films or anything, but everyone seems to know who he is. Like I go to conventions, like horror conventions, and I see little kids dressed as Chucky and stuff like that. I've got a little horror room at home, and like I've got figures, and my 3-year-old boy, he goes, "Oh, that's Chucky." He's never seen the film, but he knows who he is. Like, and I think that speaks massively to what this whole franchise has done.
Yeah,
like how much it's blown up. And it's been a while, but I think the first one was a fairly low budget film.
Yeah, well, I know for a fact they definitely skipped scenes out of the first one because budget was not there.
Saying that, the budget for this one was only 13 mil.
Did it make like 31 as well, didn't it?
It made 35.8 mil.
Yeah, really tripled its like input.
Yeah.
But 13 mil back then went a lot further. So there is a lot of practical effects in this.
There's a lot of people that consider this actually better than the original. And I would, I like to save my review till the end, but I will say I completely understand that, and I would actually get on board because they didn't stray too far from the first one, and if anything, they've just upped everything. Like, they've amped everything all up. Obviously, it's got a bigger production. It's got more kills, better kills, and bigger kind of like special effects. Some of the kills in this film is immensely better than the first one.
Yeah.
You know, in particular the ending. But yeah, I don't know. How big are you on special effects?
So for me, I really enjoyed the kills in this and the sort of practical. I say practical effects, but some of them are hilarious in how they've done it. But yeah, I reckon they upped the ante big style on this particular one in comparison to the first, massively. Yeah. And whether or not people just got better at it, or it became, obviously they threw some money at it as well. But it's the kills are impressive. Although there's a couple of weak ones in there, like. I mean, we'll get to it. There's one where I'm like, they could have made that better. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. And the end of it's just hilarious. Like, it's such an amazing kill.
I know what one you're on about. Yeah. Well, I think I do. Yeah. All right. Where are we? We're about 12 minutes in. You ready to jump into the plot?
Let's jump.
Start spoiling this. All right. Let me hit that spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning.
Right, so this movie sets off 2 years after the first, where we last see Chucky getting completely toasted and blown to pieces. The Play Pals Corporation, who produced the Good Guy dolls, are attempting to recover from the bad publicity surrounding the event from the first movie. And to reassure people there was nothing actually wrong with the doll, they somehow managed to get a hold of Chucky's remains and reassemble him back to his brand new state. But while popping in some fresh new eyes, a power surge electrocutes one of the workers and reanimates Chucky. The big boss, Mr. Sullivan, orders his assistant Matson to get rid of the doll and hide any evidence of the incident.
It was obviously an accident.
Yeah, what do you reckon of that first scene?
The Play Pals. Okay, how bad of a business model is this? We had some people died. We figured we'd just make a whole bunch. We're going to double down on the Good Guy dolls. Although it scans by some of their other portfolio in the movie, sort of leading up to it, and I think they've got like fucking marbles and jelly beans or some shit in their portfolio, and you're like, okay, so that's kind of why they got to go with the good guy dolls, because they've got fuck all else, because no kid's going to want to play with marbles. So they've just doubled down. And then I don't know why they felt it necessary to go and recover original Chucky and be like, let's just make him brand new again. Like, so yeah, Play Pals Corporation, fucking their Yelp review would be poor.
What do you that electrical scene, the whole like electrical surge, like obviously this was 1990s, so CGI was kind of like limited to what they had then. However, like horror films back then that did try to use electrical deaths back then weren't great. I'm thinking of like Chopping Mall. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
No,
that's like a proper 80s slasher, but that one had an electrical scene, and it literally looked like that film. It weren't good. I mean, I'm always slating CGI, and I don't know, but I swear within the last 10 years, I'd say that's when CGI has kind of like actually progressed decently, maybe with like all the Marvel films and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. What are you like with CGI? It's
like, so in particular, electrical deaths. Yeah. They always do it like where it's like, oh, there's a skeleton appeared, and then it goes back to being it's like, that's not really how electricity works.
You have to show the electrical volts.
It's just like, oh god, we've got to do it, and that's not how it does. I mean, I've seen a dude change a light bulb and get shocked and fall from a ladder, and I didn't see his skeleton. Did see his he did lose his trousers, but apart from that. But yeah, I mean, CGI now is obviously it's immense, but to some degree it ruins it. It ruins it. It ruins that practical kind of way of dealing with it. I mean, if you take Jaws, for example, and how everything was so practical, and that's what made it so special. And even in this film, to be honest, some of the stuff is that it's just the way they've done it is what makes it special. But yeah, I'm not electrical deaths and just how they have to say it. It's like science museum stuff, isn't it? Where they put a Tesla coil there and they just try and get some sparks to bounce off it. It's just shit.
That scene in particular. How did you receive that scene for what actually happened? Because like, did you see it as like that? I know that's what Wikipedia says. Like, the surge bring Chucky back to life, but they seem to be having problems with the machine beforehand, and I weren't sure if maybe Chucky somehow was having something to do with it and he caused the surge, like everything that happened. I don't know if like he caused it or the machine, it just happened to have problems and that's what brought him back.
It was a little bit kind of like vague in that regard. But Chucky's always had a level of supernatural.
That's what I'm thinking
about him, and just the way that he transferred his soul into. Like, do you know what I mean? The whole thing has been a bit supernatural and a bit voodoo-y. So yeah, I suppose you can kind of look at it both ways on that front.
Andy Barclay, he's been in foster care ever since his mother was banged up for basically backing up Andy's story, because who the fuck would believe that story? Andy goes to live with foster parents Phil and Joanne, who are also fostering a teenage girl named Kyle.
What the fuck is up, Kyle?
So, Kyle, the epitome of teen angst. Yeah, with her beret, just trying to be such a badass.
She's a punk, man.
Yeah. And like Andy, just the general shitness of the foster parents is just beyond a joke.
Yeah. Chucky tracks down Andy somehow, and he uses
Google Maps.
He uses Matson's phone before he suffocates him with a plastic bag.
Fatality.
Chucky infiltrates the home and takes the place of another good guy's doll named Tommy,
who his parents had in the house.
Yeah.
They were fostering a child who was murdered by one of these... Well, it's attempted to be murdered by one of these dolls.
And they just thought,
you know what, let's just fucking keep this doll in the house. Top parenting.
Yeah.
Top parenting.
Oh, how did that get in there? Chucky then buries him in the backyard. The next night, Chucky ties Andy to his bed to like reveal himself, but Kyle enters the room before he can like complete his voodoo chant to like possess him. But like everyone else, Kyle doesn't believe Andy. Phil and Joanne blame Kyle and throw Chucky in the basement, to where Chucky realizes that his body is becoming human after getting a nosebleed.
This is the next sort of evolution of Chucky, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is him going from a doll to an actual person, and some of the effects later on become hilarious as he's doing that.
Yeah.
And it's one of those sort of supernatural things that's part of the film that they don't ever really go into it too much as to what the chant was, where did this chant come from, how does it all work. You just kind of like you're along for the ride.
Yeah, I feel like you need to see the first film before watching this, because there's a lot of stuff that happens that's not really explained in this film, like why he's pursuing Andy, why he's turning human, the ritual to like transfer his soul. Like, I don't think was ever explained in this one. I think for someone watching this film without the first, it would be quite confusing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like, you need to see the first film to see this one. I mean, I don't know why you'd watch this one without seeing the first one, but still.
Yeah, they're very vague with how they cover it. They give you a small synopsis at the start, where they're kind of going through it, and you can see that they're upset about this doll and they're trying to rebuild it and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, you really need to be on board with the Chucky lore. There's little hints here and there, like when Chucky gets that nosebleed, he's going, "Oh, I'm turning more human again." I was like, "Oh, okay." There was a few moments that made me feel quite old when watching this. In particular, like that first bit with like Mattson, and he's got like the corded phone like in his car. That, and then like another thing that was quite funny is when he goes into a shop and he wants to pay with a credit card and they won't accept it, they'll only accept cash. I was like, well, that's not a thing anymore. Most places don't even accept cash. It's card only, please. That's gone right the other way. I quite like these like references though.
Yeah,
I love watching an old film and just being like, oh my god, there's a talk boy. Like there's this, do you know what I mean? Like stuff that you had when you was a kid. It's like every kid for some strange reason had a Ouija board. Like it made no sense. Well, like
yeah, I did. There was one scene around this part that I actually found really funny. It was when after Chucky gets rid of Tommy, and then Andy comes down to like confront him, and then he goes, "Hi, I'm."
Yeah,
Tommy.
Yeah, you can see he's like thinking about it.
You can almost think he's like, fuck, what's my name? What's my name? I found that funny.
Yeah, just trying to cover it up. But the little eye movements and the subtle gestures that he does, yeah, you're like, okay.
I'm not sure if this is a coincidence, but the 90s Nickelodeon show Rugrats.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that had some kind of influence on this, because the two main characters in that is Tommy and Chucky. And that literally came out like 9 months after this was released.
Chucky's ginger too, isn't he? So
yeah,
there you go.
Tommy and Chucky, man.
Maybe.
Maybe
there's some sort of weird, sick, twisted version of Rugrats out there we've never seen.
Oh, there's got to be something with Chucky as Chucky. Rugrats, Chucky.
You know, there's some weird ass fan fiction that's kind of like put those two together somehow.
So the next day, Chucky follows Andy to school and he writes "fuck you, bitch"
What's your profanity
on his homework, and that gets him detention. But he manages to trap Chucky whilst he escapes and then kills his teacher. But later that night, Andy goes down to the basement to kill Chucky with an electric knife, but Phil comes down and Chucky trips him, causing him to break his neck and killing him.
Oh no, I hope I don't fall.
But it's not before Chucky kind of sees, like reveals himself to him.
Huh?
Is it? That Chucky says something to him as well?
Yeah, he's already revealed himself, hasn't he?
No, not to dad.
Oh, not to the dad. No.
Because the dad was adamant. No,
Yeah.
it's not real.
Yeah.
You're making this up. Blah blah blah. And then when he falls just before the end, Chucky's like, "Hey," and it's just like, "Oh," and then that's it. Then he's gone and broke his neck. So it's like just before he dies, he gets to see everything is real, and that's kind of like a sweet ending to this really bad father figure.
But that's kind of Chucky all over it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like no one believes like Andy. It's like most of the first film is no one believing Andy, and it's kind of frustrating a little bit. Like, it's really frustrating, and it's not until like final sequences or literally like this, like right before someone actually dies, where they figure it out. So yeah. But Joanne, she blames Andy, so she goes he goes back to the foster home, but Kyle discovers the real Tommy doll is buried outside and realizes Andy was actually telling the truth, so she rushes to tell her, Joanne, only to discover that Chucky's actually killed her already. And Chucky like ambushes her and gets her to like drive her to the foster centre, but then ditches her and takes Andy away to perform the voodoo chant. Ooh.
Back on that hype. Back on that voodoo hype.
Yeah. Just again, like, everything that's different from this about the first one is like, this one like wastes like no time in getting into the action. Like, within the first 5-10 minutes he's already like straight into it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas
there's almost no need to prerequisite him as being a bad person. Like, you already know, if you've seen the first one, you already know this little doll's an arsehole. Like, so it's just, he just comes out fucking swinging, getting that kill count up straight away. Yeah.
He's got some swag as well, man. He sticks his middle finger up and shit.
Oh yeah.
Fuck you, bitch. It seems like almost once Kyle kind of finds out, that's when everything kind of like escalates like really quickly. And I don't know, was there a plan to like end up at the good guy's factory, or was that just like some big coincidence? Because I can't even remember how they got there.
So, right, here's the thing about this film. The good guys factory, there's a reason why there's also so many good guys, right? Because it doesn't make any sense. Because they were going to film this movie and base it around Christmas time. And that was the whole reason why they'd built so many good guys, and why everything, and they were ramping up for this Christmas time push to get the business back on track. And how they end up there is just an absolute. It just doesn't really it comes out of nowhere. It's almost like you just, oh shit, okay, so they're at the good guy factory, and there's literally fucking thousands of these things, and you're like, right, what would the business do? Like, it doesn't really explain it. What would the business do making that many good guy dolls? They only just remade Chucky at the very beginning, and had a critical accident. Yeah, and you're like, how have they got so many good guys? So it is a bit of a plot hole for me. But a very cool way to kind of set a scene.
I love this final scene.
Yeah, it's
the whole
really
factory
good.
thing. It's the perfect place.
Yeah, it's awesome, but it makes no fucking sense. No. So it's just one of those things where you're like, I think people just forgave it because they're like, this is fucking dope. Like, yeah.
They're like, Kyle chases them to the factory, but gets there too late as Chucky. He completes the ritual. However, like, it fails because he spent too much time in the doll's body. So now he's like permanently trapped as a doll. So he's pissed off, and now he's on like a murder mission for Andy and Kyle.
What the fuck is up, Kyle? No.
During which he rips off his own hand after he like got it trapped in the gate. That's good. And he like wedges a knife up it to replace his hand. And Kyle manages to like mutilate his body with like the assembly line equipment, but Chucky manages to escape again, and Andy Andy opens a valve, like showering him with like molten plastic, seemingly killing him. However, he comes back again as like a very goopy Chucky, and Kyle attaches like an air hose into his mouth, inflating him like a balloon until he pops, finally killing him. Or so they think. You find out in Child's Play 3.
Just to talk how Child's Play 3 opens, for fuck's sake. It's the dumbest shit.
I can't even remember Child's Play 3.
Oh, like they're redoing dolls, and like some of his blood gets mixed in with the plastic goop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, the factory death with the eyeballs.
The eyeballs.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
That's the one, mate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did you have like a favourite kill? Because that one's probably mine.
It's just so good. It's such a good kill.
I might be looking into it too deep, but like that production line was in like full operation. Like everything was working perfectly.
And no one was there.
Not a single worker in sight, except for one security guard who apparently had full knowledge of all like machinery and how to fix it.
Oh yeah.
And he got his eyes.
The unsung hero.
Well, he got more eyes.
He did, yeah. He doubled up. He got 20/20 vision. But yeah, that's the thing, and that's where the plot hole falls. And it's like, for God's sake, but it's so cool and it's so fun to watch this chase and this kind of whole crazy shit happen inside this factory that you just forgive it because you're like, fuck, the deaths are so cool. Oh my god, he's stuffing a knife in his hand and he's like fucking like, oh, and he's doing it, and it's just the whole thing's cool, and it really solidifies him like being a person rather than a doll as well, because he's like feeling proper pain but still twisted enough to go through with it and be like, fucking I've got this knife on my arm now.
Yeah, man. Alright, so that is the whole plot. So we'll jump into our ratings now. So shall I go first, or do you want to go first?
You go first.
Alright, so 1 to 10 we're going to rate this. 1 to 10 dolls being buried in the back garden. So we covered Child's Play on episode 35, and me and Matt both gave it a solid 7 out of 10. I honestly don't see a reason why it wouldn't be as good, if not better. It didn't veer too far away from the original storyline. Don Mancini still writing it, and it felt very much Child's Play, unlike other sequels where they get new guys in and with their new ideas and they kind of ruin franchises. So I'm glad it was still under the same people. They seem to have like taken on all board all the best bits and just kind of ran with it for the sequel. Bigger production, bigger action, bigger kills, bigger special effects. The whole final scene in the warehouse is like a shining moment. It stands out for me. Every time I think of Child's Play 2, I think of that warehouse factory scene at the end. I love it. It's incredibly enjoyable, so I'm going to go against the system today and give it a slightly higher score than the first, with a 7.5 out of 10.
Damn.
What about you? What would you give it?
Okay. Younger me would be like 9. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah, older me, more reserved, 7. And that's because I see the plot holes. Yeah, and I see like
logically.
I see like, oh fuck's sake, like, do you know what I mean? But younger me, when I saw it, was just like, this is fucking awesome. And like you would chat about it with your friends at school. Oh my god, have you seen fucking Chucky? Oh my god, and these deaths, and when he did that, it was just awesome. And some of the, and when you look at the other stuff of it as well, like in terms of just Andy and his acting and how much better that's got in this one, and how he's growing up, and everything about it was better. There's no denying that. The effects were better, the acting was better, the storyline was more fun, it was more engaging, the killings were better. The killing of the teacher, which was supposed to be in the first film, they were supposed to kill a teacher in the first film, and they ran out of budget. And then they called up the stalking that he does, and just how twisted he is when he's like walking up and just tapping his thing. Now you're going to teach you a lesson, kind of thing. Like, so yeah, for me, the storyline was just a bit more involved, a bit more engaging. Acting was better, better kills, more twisted Chucky than you've seen him before. I liked the way they had fun with it. It felt like it was being fun and playful, which is what you would do with the doll and how he was, and so I just approve of that. I think it was good.
Cool. So what's it going to be out of 10?
I'll go for 7. I'll go for 7.
All right, okay, cool, man. Sweet. So, right, we will now jump into our trivia.
Trivia. Oh, yeah.
You've already given us a couple of bits of trivia.
Oh, God.
So, for promoting the movie, I think this was pretty cool. For promoting the movie, the marketing included a promotional 900 telephone number, which allowed fans to hear the voice of Chucky. And the number received 40,000 calls in just 1 month.
That is cool.
That is cool. Would you have rung it?
I love that sort of stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love it when people see like an advert and there's a random little number or something, or they've seen. Yeah, it could be anything, and there's a little number, and when you call it, and it immediately leaks onto the internet. Oh my God! If you call this number, there's a fucking response. Like, I think Squid Games had something similar, didn't it? The Squid Games TV series on Netflix, where it had a number in there. And when you called it, you could get up to season 2.
All right.
So I just think like that sort of stuff is just so great.
In order to make Chucky's speech more advanced than the original one, they made it more realistic. His face was filmed at 18 frames a second instead of the usual 24 frames per second, and then they sped it up in post-production to match with the footage. This technique gave the crew a little more time to sync up the facial movements and the words to tackle tough letters such as F and B.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah. I thought that, to be honest, like the way he was, the way he moved, and like the way his facial features were, they looked a lot more advanced than the first one. Oh, for sure. And that explains it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, they slowed it down. They did it that way to give him more movement, and then they sped it up in post. So I thought that was pretty interesting, pretty clever
frame selection.
Yeah.
So like a third down.
Yeah.
There's got to be some math behind that.
Yeah.
Some movie math.
And the final one, your favourite. So Phil's death scene when he falls down the stairs. That was achieved with a classic film trick called the reverse pull. So essentially, the actor, Gerrit Graham, he would already be shot in his original like death position, and then he would be pulled upwards out of the frame by a rope tied around him, and then the footage was played backwards, creating the illusion of him falling and breaking his neck.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it was all done in reverse, and then Yeah,
that's always a nice thing, isn't it? Like this kind of, and I think that's what I said about the practical effects that they used to use back in the old films, and it was clever ways of doing stuff.
It's
like
so
that.
simple as well.
It's just
pull
like
him up.
And then we'll play it backwards. Yeah. So it makes perfect sense. And then just overdub the audio, I guess, to make it work. Like just add the audios in. Yeah, it's clever stuff.
It's good stuff. Right. And now, my favourite part, we're going to go to this week's game.
I want to play a game.
Alright, let me get ready for this, because you're going to love this. I said this to you earlier. You're going to absolutely love it.
Here we go.
This week's game is called Horror or Porn. Right? The rules are simple. I'm going to play some clips for you.
Okay.
The clips will either be from a horror film or a porn film. And it's your job to guess which it is.
Well, I've seen some porn, so let me tell you, boy, you got a hard job.
Right, bonus points if you get the film.
If I get the name.
All right, first clip.
Oh my God. Okay.
Is that horror or porn?
I think it's horror. I think. If not, then goddamn.
You're wrong.
Oh no.
Oh dear. All right, number 2.
Really? Oh, are you really? Really?
Oh.
Good? You're real good.
What the
You're really good.
What the hell? Okay.
Horror or porn?
Oh, I want to say horror because of the score behind it. But
Hey man, porn's got some good scores.
I think porn.
You are wrong.
Oh, come on. What film was that from?
That was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
You were really good. You're good.
I'll show you the
What
clips
the
afterwards. Number 3.
I'm going to get all these wrong.
I should warn you, princess. The first time tends to get a little messy.
Okay. For a start, Nightmare on Elm Street, it's got to be something that end, but I don't. No, it is a film. It is the film. Yeah, it's not a porno. It's the film, and it is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, it is. You've got it. It is actually, in fact, Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, so it is Freddy. You're right. Yeah, I'll give you that. Next one. This is a long one.
James,
Yes, Haley.
I'm so glad that our lemon tree finally grew
Me too.
and sprouted fruitful lemony lemons.
I know. Me too. I mean, imagine we can make lemonade, key lemon pie, lemon meringue
This has got
pie.
to be a porn.
I think it's the most valuable property that we have.
I do agree. I think we should go to the bank and get a loan. Actually, I think we should just get lemon tree insurance.
I think you're right.
And then get a loan and use the lemon tree as collateral because it is now insured. I truly do love our lemon tree.
Just imagine
Wow.
a life full of lemon trees.
I know. And all our beautiful lemons.
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities. They're so beautiful.
I wish I was a lemon.
You wish you were a lemon? If you were a lemon, I would put you on my shelf and cherish you like I cherish all our lemons.
That's so beautiful.
I try.
But I only hope that the whores aren't stealing our lemons. You know, those naughty whores always steal lemons.
We do have a couple lemon whores in this community.
Those damn lemon-stealing whores.
Hate them. Because no one will take our prized lemons from us.
Hey, has it been about 10 seconds since we looked at our lemon tree?
It has been about 10 seconds till we looked at a lemon tree. Hey, what the fuck?
It's a whore!
A whore stealing our lemons.
What was that?
I think it's a porno, and I think it's called The Lemon Horse.
You are absolutely correct.
Nice.
All right,
Did I get the name right as well?
Probably. I don't know. I think it's number 6.
Come to daddy.
Oh my God.
Come to daddy.
That's hard. Again, good music score. Porn. porno?
No. That was Hellraiser.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Alright. No. Oh, God. Oh, this one. Okay. Alright, next one.
God, you're so disgusting. That's not white chocolate. That's your dick.
I know. Well, you don't see.
I want to say movie just for the lols. But no. Alas. Porno. There's no white chocolate. That's your dick. Well, it is white chocolate. It just depends on how you like your white chocolate.
2 more.
Corey, you in here?
Oh, Luke, I'm stuck. My
Where?
hair is stuck underneath the bed.
Oh shit! You're stuck under the bed.
I am. Oh,
What are you doing, step bro?
it's my hair. I got stuck under the bed frame. Can you help me out?
Oh my god. Okay. It's porno and it's probably called Stuck Under the Bed Frame.
Yep, stepmom stuck under the bed.
We like these original names.
And last but not least,
Wait. What? Have you got a rubber?
Have I got a rubber?
Yeah.
Tiff,
What?
look at me. I'm all rubber.
Oh, that's right. Wait, I thought you were plastic.
Tiff,
What?
kiss me.
Okay.
It's got to be Bride of Chucky.
ooh, very good. Yep. And that concludes our game. Good game? You like that?
Excellent game.
Yeah,
Could have been
good.
Could have got some absolutely disgusting X-ray clips thrown in there.
Could have. All right. So just to wrap up. Firstly, thanks for coming on. It's been a great episode.
You're
especially
welcome.
That game.
The game is top notch. You should do every one of porno or movie.
I took a lot of research for that game.
It was fun though.
Yeah.
The research, I mean.
All right. So next episode is an old school classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I think is 1974, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be next episode. And yeah, so if you've liked today's episode and want to hear more, then go ahead and give us a follow wherever you're listening from. You can find us on Facebook. That's where we stick up our poll picks, and you can vote for what we do next. That's all for today, so thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is my